What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and this morning we're going to be talking about how to unlock and complete the Hunt for Adler event across Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. I've seen a lot of comments and concerns about how to complete this. Lots of people are having trouble with it. I know the Warzone contracts are broken, but there is a fix for them. So we're going to clarify just how to get this done in the easiest way possible. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and let me know real quickly in the comments, what are you enjoying the most right now with Season 3? Is it Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, Zombies Outbreak, or is it the new Verdansk 84 revamp? Leave all your thoughts down below. But aside from Double XP being live in both Black Ops Cold War and Warzone right now, there's also a free trial access event that is live until April the 28th and features 16 multiplayer maps, 4 fireteam experiences, 6 gunfight sections, and of course, the Zombies Outbreak mode, which to me is perfect timing since there's a lot of new content live across all of those modes thanks to Season 3, so take advantage of this while you guys can, and maybe even consider buying a full copy of Black Ops Cold War if you haven't already. But the Hunt for Adler event has 6 challenges you can complete, and upon completing at least 3 of them from either Black Ops Cold War or Warzone is when you can unlock the Tortured and Rescued Adler skin. You do not have to complete all 6 challenges to unlock Adler, and there also isn't a blueprint unlock that you can earn like you saw in previous limited time events from Season 1 and 2. It also says the event has about 5 days remaining for you to complete it, but because of several major issues with this event, as we're going to talk about in a minute, I'm sure Raven's going to extend this by at least a couple of days since some of these challenges are pretty RNG driven. So imagine dealing with RNG, beating the challenges, and then the challenges don't track properly for you. That's very frustrating, and so many people out there are extremely pissed off with this, but I can assure you, Raven is on top of these problems and should be fixing them as soon as possible. The first 3 challenges you can complete in Warzone require you to find an Adler marked contract in 3 different locations. One is in Summit, another one at the factory, and the last one is over at the farmland. You can find these contracts in either Battle Royale or Plunder, but I wasn't able to find them in Resurgence Verdansk. If you guys did see them, let me know in the comments. The problem is only one person can grab a contract in a single match, but you could theoretically do all 3 in a single match if no one else in the lobby grabs said contract. So the cool part about this too is that if you grab the contract, then let's say die immediately on Battle Royale or Plunder, you will keep the contract in your inventory when you spawn back in. That's of course if you spawn back in on Plunder and don't disconnect. That's of course if you win your gulag in a match of Battle Royale. But upon grabbing a contract, you then have to complete a mini scavenger mission, which requires you to open up 3 separate chests located about 100 feet from one another. Upon opening the final chest is when a pop-up should appear indicating that you've completed that Adler quest. If you're with a team, your teammates are able to open up the scavenger chest for you, and everyone on your team should be rewarded with a completion for that contract that you grabbed as a part of this event. But there is a major problem with this. So first and foremost, the obvious issue, if only one person in the lobby can grab said contract, then it's going to be an RNG clusterfuck. I completely understand that. So if you get into a match where you see all 3 contracts marked on your map and they all disappear because somebody grabbed them, it's an automatic restart. So it's a fight to the death to grab some of these. And I would say depending on your hot drop with the plane, it might be difficult to pull this off. With that being said, if you're with a team, maybe have one teammate drop at each of the contracts and see which one of you guys get lucky first to grab one. And then if somebody grabs one, then have the rest of your team kind of follow suit and help you open up those scavenger chests. It gets frustrating, don't get me wrong, but the major issue with this isn't just the RNG involved, which is already a problem, but it's the fact that when you go back to the main menu at the Hunt for Adler tab, you'll see that even if you completed the contract in your game of Warzone, the challenges weren't tracked properly, as if you didn't complete it. So I'm like, wait a second, what went wrong? I didn't back out of my games. I let the games end whether I lost or whether I won, so the matches completed themselves properly, and I was thinking maybe it's my teammates. Maybe we all grab things at the same time and it bugged it out. Maybe I'm only supposed to grab the contract, then the 3 scavenger boxes, nobody else. Maybe that broke it. But nope, I went on solo and replicated this many times and still no luck. So I went ahead and tried this on solos, duos, trios, quads, even Plunder, and still nothing would happen. That's not all either. The other problem is that the contracts don't even spawn in properly. So to clarify this, there will always be at least 1 contract in each of the 3 locations over in Verdansk, Summit, Factory, and Farmland. That's a given, but I've had matches where I saw 1 contract at Summit, 4 to 5 contracts at the Factory, and 0 at the Farmland. So I'm like, wait a second, why are there 4 to 5 at the Factory when there's only only be one. I've even had a game where I did all 4 of them at the factory and still that wouldn't unlock it. So I'm like, why didn't the farmland get a contract? I've had games where I saw 0 at Summit, 2 at the factory, and then 3 at the farmland. I'm like, what on earth is wrong with this event? I was very confused with it. I even had a lucky game where literally nobody in the lobby, I shit you not, nobody in the lobby went for any of the Adler contracts, so I was the only one in game that grabbed all 3 of them at the 3 locations, and I opened up all 9 scavenger boxes by myself that are linked to those 3 contracts, and still nothing happened. So the other issue I saw online was that people out there were saying on Twitter and Reddit that they were able to unlock some of these just randomly doing it in solo, some in plunder, some in quads. It was a bit inconsistent, but they managed to complete some of them. So there is an issue where it is tricky for some people out there in the world, but that's also RNG driven, which isn't very helpful, right? So upon looking at the lad himself, Modern Warzone over on Twitter, he made it clear that you can actually complete these Adler contracts in private matches of Warzone, but here's another problem. You need at least 20 plus people in your lobby to start a private match. So if you don't have 20 plus people to join you, start a private game, you're not going to be able to do these Adler contracts. And for some reason, when you do these in a private game, they do track properly and they'll be checkmarked at the main menu in the Hunt for Adler tab. So what I recommend for you guys is in the comments of this video, drop your PSN, Activision ID, Xbox gamer tag, Battle.net ID, drop something in the comments. Let's figure out a way so that this little community on my channel, a great amount of people by the way, let's bring everybody together and try to get some big private matches started over in Verdansk 84. There's no saying when this is actually going to be fixed properly, so you could do this by yourself in public matches, but as of right now, the only fix to do these in Warzone, if you want to do them, is through private games. I know it sounds silly, but it somehow works, and luckily there is a somewhat workaround to this. It does require you to have a good amount of friends, but I think content creators and people out there that are very vocal and public can do their part and bring people together and just host a bunch of big lobbies on private games. That's something that does work. Now, on top of that as well, Raven did make it clear they are aware of these issues with the Hunt for Adler event. When a fix is coming is of course unknown, but if it comes later than today or tomorrow, then they definitely have to extend this event, because unless you own a copy of Black Ops Cold War or take part in the free trial that allows you to play multiplayer, then the only way you can unlock this Adler skin is through completing these contracts in Warzone, and it's just not possible right now. So that's kind of what I'll leave it at. But let's say you want to skip these Warzone challenges, you don't care about Verdansk, and you just want to complete at least 3 of them in Black Ops Cold War to unlock the skin. Here's how you can do that. So you have to complete 7 matches of Mount Yementau. The second challenge is to get 25 kills with the help of either a UAV, field mic, or a harp. So you have to make sure that those enemies are marked on your map somehow, whether it's from one of those 3 mechanics, 2 kill streaks, or the field upgrade, whatever you choose. Now the third challenge is to get 25 kills on enemies that were on kill streaks themselves while you're using the assassin perk. So that sounds difficult, but let me reassure you, the assassin perk highlights enemies with a distinct symbol on your minimap if they're on a kill streak in that match. You know exactly what the symbol is, but I'll zoom into it on screen so you can see, and it's very simple. So my goal with this would be to get those 25 kills with the UAV, field mic, or harp, and the other 25 kills using assassin while you're also taking part in those 7 matches you have to complete on Mount Yementau. That's what I did, but if you don't want to do that, then maybe play 7 casual matches of Mount Yementau, then hop onto Nuketown 24/7 if you'd like to get those 25 kills very easily, or the other 25 kills using assassin. Whatever you guys prefer. I mean, it's all about running UAVs, field upgrades. If you could earn the harp, definitely go for it. Now, what I'm not sure about, because things are a bit buggy right now, but correct me in the comments, I'm not sure if your friendly UAVs and your friendly field mics could help you in this challenge. I just don't know the answer to that, but from my experience, it looks like friendly UAVs didn't help me out. I got kills while using my friend's UAV or my friend's harp, and I didn't see those kills tracked at my menu, but it could be bugged. Keep into account that maybe my experience is bugged out. You never know what the true issue is here, but at least make sure you go for a UAV. It's not too hard to earn, and then throw a field mic down mid-match, whatever you guys prefer. But the assassin perk, of course, helps you out quite a bit, and you'll see more often than not, you're going to kill lots of enemies that are on streak, so it sounds harder than it actually is. Trust me when I tell you guys that. You should be able to get this done in no time. Now, upon completing the 3 challenges in Black Ops Cold War, since the Warzone challenges are bugged for me, I didn't get a pop-up that the event was completed, but I did, of course, unlock the secret Adler skin, which is still exciting, but I'm really curious what the cinematic or animation animation looks like once you complete the Hunt for Adler event, since in Season 1 and 2, there were little pop-ups or animations upon completing some of those events. So hopefully, you know, if you've done private matches to complete the Warzone contracts, or if you wait until Raven fixes this, then we'll be able to see what this ending animation looks like for this event. Right now, we just don't know. But the Outbreak event in Season 2 was cool and all. You were able to unlock 2 separate blueprints for doing challenges in either Black Ops Cold War or Warzone. Then Season 1 had 1 set of challenges you could do in Rebirth, but I believe it was about roughly 16 challenges that you were able to do that rewarded you with different cosmetics and a final Krieg blueprint at the end. So both of those events had quite a bit of content packed into them and took a bit of time to complete. So I respect that. This event only has 6 challenges though. You only have to do 3 if you want the skin, and still something doesn't work. So I'm a bit confused on whether or not this event was rushed or if there's a serious issue behind the scenes causing it to bug out for people. I'm not sure what went wrong with this, but I'm really hoping that it gets fixed as soon as possible. There's also a mid-season event planned on the Season 3 roadmap that you can see. It does say it's coming during Season 3 Reloaded, and it has shattered glass as a bit of a theme on the promo art for it. So maybe, as we saw in the ending of the Destruction for Verdansk, maybe we're gonna see the glass at the hospital being shattered as maybe Woods and his crew breaks in. Maybe they open that red door that Adler's apparently behind. That's where he's being brainwashed. And I'm sure by then he'll already be brainwashed with the MK Ultra experiments, as Stitch promised in the intro cutscene. So with that, I'm also going to guess that Stitch wants Adler to be found on purpose, just so Adler could betray Woods, which could get himself killed in the process. So Mason finishing that job at some point in a future season would be poetic. Mason has dealt with brainwashing before, so if he's the one to take care of Adler or to kill him, I think that would make a lot of sense for the Black Ops story, and could explain how Mason becomes a playable operator in a future season as well. But lots of possibilities of what's going on with Adler. I'm looking forward to the fact that we have 3 more seasons left of this game, which could contain some very rich storytelling that can even set up the opening of Black Ops 2 where Woods gets captured. We can see a cameo of young Menendez. He could be a playable operator. Lots of possibilities that I'm really thinking about as of lately. But last and definitely not least, as I just found out, Rebirth Night has gone away over in Warzone, unfortunately, so it's only available for that limited time nuke event that destroyed Verdansk. And I understand, right? Because Rebirth Night took place in the present. It took place, I mean, what was it, 15 minutes before the destruction of Verdansk. We actually got to nuke it, so I get that, but it was nighttime when we launched the nuke, and then it was daytime when Verdansk got hit. I'm like, wait, what? So a bit of a plot hole there, but yeah, it's worth noting. Okay, Rebirth in the daytime, as we knew it before, took place in the 80s. It was kind of telling a story of how Stitch and Adler met. And then when we saw Rebirth at night, it was, what, 36 years later in 2021? So I understand the storytelling, but they could have just left Rebirth at night for the duration of Season 3 at least. But nope, they turned the lights back on, and we were back in Rebirth Day from the 80s. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this Hunt for Adler events across Black Ops Cold War and Warzone? Have you completed it? And do you guys have any interest in doing a big private match to help people out complete it in a single private game of Verdansk 84? What I don't know though is that if you do a private game of Verdansk and one person grabs that contract, will it count for everybody in the lobby since we're technically all in the same party? I'm not sure how that works. I'm willing to experiment with that at some point tonight or at some point tomorrow in our gameplay stream. Also, in regards to the meta of Warzone right now, since Modern Warfare loot has gone away, it's all Black Ops Cold War loot now. I think right now the go-to weapons are the FARA, PPSH, MAC-10, Street Sweeper, maybe the FFAR on a lucky day as well. But really hope you've enjoyed. This has been dkdynamite, and peace out, everyone.